Hey everybody, welcome back to Marsh RC. This video, as always, brought to you by White Rose Hobbies. We are in the shop again today. Today we're going to do a review on the SCX10 to UMG10 kit. Built this over the last couple days. Haven't painted it yet, obviously. Going to be doing something different with it, but I figured before I went that far, we'd just do a review on it. Some of the features on this thing are new to this truck. It's new to this kit. This thing does some things a little bit different than previous Axial kits, so I just wanted to make a video on them. So let's dive into it. So as you can see, it has the molded plastic front grille and light buckets. I don't have the lenses in yet. In all, this thing can support 8 LED lights out of the box. You can put one here, one in each light bucket, so that's 4 in the grill, one here, and then in the rear, it doesn't have a rear bumper. It has this rear chassis brace, but you can actually put, there's a light area here and here. So going along with the molded grill and light bucket inserts, we also have the plastic molded grill with the fair lead attachment area. You have molded windshield wipers, side mirrors, molded door handles. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you can see it. The steering wheel is a molded black steering wheel. There's also gear shifters. I didn't install those yet, but there's like 5 or 6 gear shifters available in there. And then it has the molded snorkel. So that's all the molded details pieces in the front half of the truck. The back half is obviously the cage is molded plastic. Same with the rear tire carrier. Sorry about that. So with this kit, you get 5 tires, obviously, because it has that one spare in the back there. They are actually B-lock. They are plastic, but they are B-lock, which is nice to have B-locks right out of the box. One thing that's kind of a nice detail is that center cap piece. You get 5 of them, even though you only use 4, because you can't put the one on the spare due to the mechanism that holds the spare on. So this truck still has the newer style axles with the integrated trusses, the one-piece design. I'm personally not a super big fan of that design, but there are way worse things out there, and it's pretty easy to go back to the old style axles. They're still available. You can still get all the pieces for them, so on and so forth. So one big change to this truck versus any of the other trucks that Axial has out, whether it be RTR or kit, is that this has a 11.4 inch or 288 millimeter wheelbase. So it's a little bit shorter than standard. It's a little bit shorter than what most people are used to, or even what most bodies are out there. But it's really easy to change back to the standard wheelbase, which we'll cover when we open the truck up. So this truck, moving on to the next feature of this truck, it actually is a hinged body. So it seems to be something that's happening. People aren't wanting to see body posts anymore. Keep things more scale, looking more scale. So in that fashion, Axial has done it. They decided they were going to go with a hinged body system. So with that, if you look under here, you can see a little pull tab here, a little pull tab here. So you just pull them out. That releases the front of the body, and then it just hinges up. And one nice thing about this hinge system versus some of the other ones I've seen out there is this one actually will hinge all the way down. So the body can rest on the table or the ground or whatever the case may be. It doesn't go to a certain point like here or have to stand straight up. Sorry about that, guys. We're back. Had to take that call. Anyway, so again, we were talking about the hinge. I like the way that hinges. Other than that, inside the chassis here, it's pretty much standard, typical, not a whole lot different than any other Axial kit out there, with a few changes. So one thing, no, these stainless screws don't come with the kit. I had them separately. Just put that out there. So far I don't have any the only electronics I have installed is the servo. But anyway, so like I said, it's typical Axial kit building. There's not much different there at all. There's a few little changes, and I'll get that here in a second. So I was saying about the wheelbase. If you see where the shock towers, rear shock towers are mounted, that's to give it the wheelbase it needs for this body. To get it back to the standard 12.3 inch wheelbase, all you do is move this shock tower back. This back screw for the shock tower is in the third hole from the rear. All you do is put it from there to the far back hole in the frame, and you're back to the 12.3 or 312 millimeter wheelbase. So that's really about it for the kit itself, minus that one change I wanted to show you guys about. So I'll show it from the top first. If you look right here, right where my finger's at, that's that. If you're familiar with the Axial kits, you'll know that that's a little, it's like a little tube almost, and it's to run a winch line out of. So that's not new. What is new is the underside. And I'm going to do my best to show them off, but it's going to be really hard because it's in a bad spot to show. Underneath the panhard bar and the axles, there's two little black brackets, and they actually have a hole running through them, because when you run a servo winch in this truck, the servo winch sits right here, right behind the steering servo, and those two little brackets that they added in there on the bottom of the battery tray have a hole to run your winch line through, and then through that little fair lead, and it'll actually come out right through the fair lead in the front of the bumper. So it was something super small and super subtle to change, is adding those two brackets in, but it really cleans that line for your winch coming out if you're using a servo winch, and keeps it out of the way. So I really like that. So the rear hinge, just so people see it, it's not really a hinge, it's a new rear brace, and it has a hole on each side for a screw, and then you use shoulder screws to hold the body on. The front is different. It has these two little brackets that the top body pins come down through, which get attached to the back of the radiator for the front grille. And then when the body comes down, it goes through them holes. Then you just take your body clips and you pop them back in, and you're good to go. So moving on from that, a few other things about this kit that I wanted to talk about. First up, we'll just show you these since I don't have any of them on. Window masks, your reflective for your side mirrors, are the decal sheets. So you have a bunch of decal sheets. This is the first one, the smallest. This is your interior decal sheet.
Hello.
Another decal sheet.
Getting into
Window trim, stuff like that. And this is for the rear back half of the cage, a bunch of the trim options. You can go with like the rusty metal, you can go with the wood look. You have some options there. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about were the instruction book and this little package that came with it. So this came along separately, and it says parts precautions when you open plastic bag 2 and parts bag D. It's the transfer case. This is the same transfer case. It was in a separate bag. It was in this bag with this instruction piece. But everything I can tell, unless it was something super subtle and I couldn't see it, it's the exact same transfer case that comes on the normal sprue for the kit. So I don't know why they necessarily gave me this extra one, or why this extra one's in the kit. I put it together and it works fine, so I have no clue. But nonetheless, I want to let you know, if you get this kit, if you have this kit, and we're wondering why they gave you that, if you're in the same position as I, where I have no idea, because it looks the exact same. The other thing they gave was this little notice addendum to the instructions. This has instruction number 30, 31, 32, 37, and 39. And after looking at it, the only two things that I can see that are different from the separate instruction sheet versus the actual manual is step number 30 and 32. So here they are side by side. Number 30. If you can see here in the original instruction booklet, it's telling you to put the rear shock mount all the way in that rear position, and in the addendum it's telling you to move it forward those 2 holes so you can get the wheelbase needed for this particular body. And then 32 is the exact same thing. I'm going to switch it up on you. So this is the addendum over here. 32, same thing. In the regular instruction book, it's telling you to put it all the way back. And then in the addendum, it's telling you to move it forward those 2. Like I said, 31 is no different from the addendum to the instruction booklet. And then same thing. This is the instruction booklet. This is the addendum. 37 and 38 appear to be the same as well. And then finally you have 39, which instruction booklet addendum also appear to be the exact same. So I'm assuming they just don't want to waste a bunch of blank space. I don't know. But either way, that was everything that was different with this kit as far as addendums or special things to note. Other than that, I've talked to a few people who said when they were putting this together that they were missing a piece. It happens. And everyone I talked to about 4 people who built this kit, and all 4 of them said they were missing the exact same piece. I wasn't missing any pieces, so clearly whatever piece was missing out of the box, Horizon, Axial, whoever, clearly fixed the issue, because I, again, wasn't missing any pieces. So that's it for this build. It went together super fast, super easy, typical SCX 10 2 kit build, minus the body. Body went together extremely well. Everywhere there was a screw that needed to go in the body, it had the little perforation where, you know, to drill your little hole to get the screw through. So it went together amazing. The only thing so far without actually running this truck that I do not like, it's one thing, and let me show you. Let me put these pins back in first. Only thing I don't like about this truck is when you go with your crawler and you have a cage or anything like that, you immediately want to pick it up from the cage. If you do that with this, you're eventually going to break it, because look at that flex when you go to pick it up there, because the way that the front cab is attached to the rear of this is 6 screws, and I guess I'll take the body back off and show you. It's 6 little screws, 4 right here, and then 1 here and here. There's nothing. So again, right here, here, and here. There's nothing at the top of this cage that is connecting the cage to the cab, which I feel like there should be something along here. There's a screw here in the middle, and then on the other side, here, here, and here, that you could easily do, which I probably will do. Just poke a hole through those 3 areas, run the screw through the Lexan into the cage just to reinforce the top, because I know out of habit I'm going to want to pick it up here versus the front or rear. Now if you pick it up in the front and rear, you have no problem at all, but out of habit you're going to probably want to pick it up here and you're going to have issues. Other than that, great truck so far. It's not going to stay like this long for me. I have other plans. I'm going full-blown Unimog on it. So I'm going to build custom back half and all that kind of good stuff, but that'll be in the future. But for now, it'll stay like this, and we'll get it painted up at some point. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave a comment down in the description. Other than that, guys, as always, please like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.